Hey, everybody. Good evening. It is Sunday the 19th at 7:01. I am Seth Eisenberg, and this is the conservative corner. So if you're supposed to be here, you're in the right spot. If you're not supposed to be here, hang out. You might like it. Who knows? Hope y'all had a good week, as good as it can be being at work. Hope you had a better weekend. It was nice. Weather was really nice. It's getting a little windy here now. I don't know if it's supposed to storm or what, but it's night and it's getting chilly. It's getting chillier every night that time of year. It's how it's supposed to be anyway. So it's all good. It's winter or fall, so it's supposed to happen. Man. But it gets dark too early. Then you get tired early, and then you wake up and it's dark. You go to sleep, it's dark. Nothing you can do about it, I guess. It is what it is till it ain't. I guess that's what they say. So I got a new camera, and I'm checking it's over here, and I'm used to being here, so I'm not used to looking this way. I'm used to looking over here, so that's why I'm looking like it looks like I'm not paying attention. But it's all good. I'm paying attention. I just got to get used to looking here. I will. It'll take time. See, there I go again. All right, so let's get right into this. Local and breaking news, or not local news, but breaking and interesting news. Yeah, this guy's an idiot. My attorney general in Maryland is just a couple sandwiches shy of a picnic. I don't like him. Anthony Brown, just a douche. He's telling Maryland police they can't work with federal authorities. He's talking about ICE, is what he means, ICE. He doesn't believe in the rule of law, doesn't believe in the Constitution. He believes in his feelings, and he believes in being reelected. So he's going to do whatever he has to acquiesce to the morons in Maryland, which there's a lot of morons in Maryland. Don't get me wrong. If Maryland only had a population of 20, let's just keep it simple, population of 20, there would be 19. No. There'd be 15 idiots living here. Yeah, 15. And 16, depending if they got family visiting. But still a lot of idiots. So yeah, he's acquiescing to them and doesn't care that it's against the law to be here illegally. Doesn't care that they're a drain on resources in Maryland. Doesn't care that taxpayers got to fund everything they do. Doesn't care. Because like I said, he's a douche. Anthony Brown. Only in Maryland. Nah, I can't say only. But it happens a lot in Maryland. Lucky me. I thought of moving, like down south or out west. I don't want to be in Maryland. It's too expensive. It's getting more expensive. It's because of crap like this. I got to fund the illegal somehow. I have to fund the illegal somehow, and so do you. So that's what they're doing. Thank you, Anthony Brown. Someone's sitting in like a paper bag full of poop because he's a moron. Now, this next story really aggravated me. I got notes for it, and it comes from our buddy, Tim Fazenbaker. He put this out there, and it really upset me, and I wanted to talk about it, and I'm looking for the notes I have because I have notes because I'm that kind of guy. I like being prepared. Of course, now I can't find them. Man, I need to get one of those things You know, here we go. I got it. Sweet. Yeah. So this is in Hartford County, Maryland, and they're children, so that's why he took their faces out of the picture, which is completely understandable. They go to Hartford County Public Schools, and as you can see, they wore a Turning Point USA shirt and then a Freedom shirt, Charlie Kirk shirts to school. Um, the complaint alleges that these children were berated and verbally accosted by a teacher in front of a bunch of students for wearing those two shirts. The teacher allegedly grilled the young children repeatedly about their shirts in front of their friends and caused a massive scene. I don't see. This is what, and I can't talk to other states. I can only talk to my state. This is what happens when you have people in a position of authority who shouldn't be in a position of authority, especially a position of authority with children. This teacher should be nowhere near children at all. These shirts are not obscene. They're not pornographic. They're not foul. They're not disruptive. I don't think other kids, because they look like they're younger kids. They don't look like they're teenagers. They don't look like they're high school. They probably like elementary school, maybe middle school. So I would really doubt the other students even knew what Turning Point would be or Freedom. Okay, that's great. They probably wouldn't care. But this teacher let his or her feelings, it's probably a Ziza. It's probably not even a he or her. It's probably some bull crap. I identify as a tree with a squirrel living in me crap. I don't know. But this person, teacher, took it upon herself to embarrass these students because she didn't like the shirts that they had on. Didn't like. Her feelings overrode her intelligence. And I doubt he or she's very intelligent anyway, if little shirts like this could trigger an adult. So the father reached out to the school via email. The administration initially acknowledged the incident and confirmed that the students felt uncomfortable. So I guess they've probably talked to the students after it happened. And the students probably like, well, yeah, we were embarrassed. There she was, was raising her voice at us, was, just talking really mean to us. They're kids. A few days after the initial email, the school changed their story. There's a shock. And claimed that the teacher was supporting the kids by repeatedly questioning their shirts in front of other kids. Let me first say, I should have said this before, but let me start off by saying I am not a big proponent of people using children as military, or not military, as political billboards. I've never liked that. These are kids. They don't need to be involved in this. If these kids chose to wear those shirts with no coaching or, come on, by mom and dad, that's fine. If that's what they wanted to wear, they chose of their own free will, they like it, that's what they want, that's great. Something tells me, and y'all can yell at me later, mom and dad probably had a say in their shirts for that day, their clothing. And I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But I'm just saying, maybe mom or dad said, hey, why don't you wear these shirts today? That's what I'm assuming. And like I said, I could be wrong. Mom or dad could have they could have picked it out and put it on themselves. I don't know. But that being said, the teacher has no right to accost children over shirts that aren't, like I said, pornographic in nature. They don't have curse words. They're not threatening, nothing like that. The teacher has no right to say that. And if they're saying, well, it's against school policy, and I haven't finished the article yet, I'll read it to you. But if they say it's against school policy, that's fine. Could you please quote the policy that says they can't wear these shirts to school? Freedom, Turning Point USA could almost go with, they said, we don't like have political shirts. Okay, I can kind of understand that. But then again, you're dealing with children who probably never heard of Turning Point and wouldn't know. Teachers would know, and I really don't care about the teachers. They're there to work. We're not there to hear their opinion. They're there to do a job, and they're not doing that very well in Maryland anyway. So here we go. The father tells the district, Tim Eisenberg, that the district's change of heart felt like an attempt to deflect responsibility. They're both boys because his sons were definitely singled out and embarrassed. So we have a school system, which is pretty much just a bunch of politicians. Kind of admitted guilt to begin with, like, yeah, the teacher's probably a little out of line. The kids were uncomfortable. They said, so we apologize. They probably talked to the lawyers or the board or somebody up above them and said, no, don't say that. We need to, kind of deflect away from us being in trouble for anything. So then he said, oh, no. The teacher was supporting the students. That's why she was pointing at him and embarrassing them and yelling at them, because she was supporting them. That's how you support people. You point and you yell at them and you cause a big scene. That says, I love you. Silly me, I thought supporting somebody's like, hey, that's great. I like your shirts. Have a good day. And then you move on. Maybe in Hartford County, the idea of supporting is completely different. I don't know. I've driven through Hartford County, never been there. I'm sure the people in Hartford County are great people. They just got some jackasses in Hartford County public schools. So I'm hoping the father gets more information. And when he gets everything he needs, if he's still not satisfied, I would file a lawsuit and sue the school. I don't believe these boys should have been made to feel anything less than boys. There's nothing wrong with their shirts. And I also always got to keep in mind, liberals and Democrats are very emotional based. They can't control themselves. They're not so much different than boys or girls going through puberty. Their brains haven't fully developed. Everything is, an extreme for them. So I'm sure if this teacher was a liberal and saw this, after they, wet themselves and puked, they probably ran in the hallway and were defending the country by attacking these two young boys and berating them and causing a scene. And that's a teacher. So yeah, I hope if it all comes out in the teacher, and I'm leaning towards 99%. I already know that the teacher was an asshole and just didn't like their shirts and figured, hey, I'm in a position of authority, so I'm going to bully these boys. If that's the case, sue them. Sue them into the Stone Age. Sue them so bad that they can't afford calculators anymore and they got to use abacuses. Sue them into the ground. They got to use quill pens and ink. Sue them. They got to write on tree bark because they won't be able to afford paper anymore. Sue them. I mean, that's the only way these people understand it. I mean, either you beat the teacher up, and I'm not advocating violence, or you sue them. That's how you get their attention. And the teachers union will support this teacher until the end of time, so that the teacher won't lose their job. So I'm not even worried about that. Not even going to talk about that because, unless the teacher walks in and like skins a puppy alive in front of the kids, then punches a nun, they'll never lose their job. Teachers unions like the mob. They don't listen to nobody. See, that's in Hartford County Schools, and that's from Tim Eisenberg. So, and he's running for Baltimore County Rep, Baltimore County Council. So yeah, he's a good guy. He's on here on the poll, so I'll talk about that later. But he's a great guy. So I got that from him. I was a little upset when I read that because they're kids. Leave kids alone. And if it finds out mom and dad push the kids into wearing no shirts, shame on you. Shame on you. Let the kids be kids. They want to wear like what is it now? Not He-Man. They don't watch He-Man anymore. What's a cartoon that kids watch now? I don't know. If they want to wear a cartoon shirt they watch, let them wear it. Don't push political stuff on the kids, man. Don't do that. I've never done that. I never say, hey, Ryan, why don't you wear this Trump shirt to school? I'm not doing that to him. If he chooses to wear one, that's great. If he chooses not to, that's great. I don't care. I just don't like parents that do that. I don't like kids got to grow up too quick nowadays as is. Parents shouldn't be helping that. Let them enjoy being a kid. Let them enjoy doing stupid stuff and not being concerned about adult crap all the time, and let them have fun. There'll be enough time for life to beat them down when they get older. Let them enjoy it. Some parents, And speaking of morons, hey, Muhammad Ali, that guy, that jerk. Apparently, a federal judge feels that he can freely move around the country spewing his anti-Semitic, anti-American hate, and we're supposed to just be okay with it. He's a Palestinian activist, and he could go to speaking engagements across the country or at events while pushing back on Trump's attempts to deport him. The man lied on his application for his visa. He should be expelled immediately. But that's not how it works now because we have judges that aren't enforcing laws. They're setting policy from the bench, which is wrong. But I have a solution to this problem. And I'm sure I'm not the only person thinking about it. I'm sure people far smarter than me higher up in the food chain have already come up with it. But I would just stick them on the no-fly list. Problem solved. Make them drive everywhere. Make them take a bus. Take a Greyhound bus. That'll teach them. I rode a Greyhound bus once when I was in the Navy from Norfolk to where I live in Frederick, Maryland. And boy, normally it's like a 4-hour drive. Not even like 3 hours. 3 hours driving. I think it took like 8 hours on bus. yeah, I'll walk before I go on a bus again. Just not going to do it. Not knocking buses. It's an affordable way to travel, and if you don't mind stopping in every spit water back town you're going to come across, it's fine. But yeah, take them on, put them on the no-fly list. Have them take buses or cabs or Ubers or where is he from? He's from Middle East. Ride a donkey or a camel wherever he's got to go for a couple months. He'll get tired of it and he'll leave. But yeah, put him on the no-fly list. Problem solved. Judges can't pull him off of that. Maybe he'll learn to shut his mouth, stop running, talking about how much he hates America and anti-Semitism, diarrhea that spews out of his mouth. Yeah, but judges, God bless them. Like I've always said, if you're looking for justice, don't go to the courthouse because you're not going to find it there. It's just a bunch of lib judges for the most part. Oh, I'm so sorry that the mean old government's trying to keep you from spewing your BS all over the country. I'll let you travel. Yeah, thanks. Hope he starts out your house with your kids spewing some crap. Say you like that. It just gets worse and worse every day. Every day. It's like more and more idiots are like coming out of the world. It's like they're reproducing like rabbits. Like idiots are breeding and making more idiots who then breed and make more idiots. And it just goes on and on and on and on. It doesn't stop. Idiots. So that's the end of the news. And not the end. It's going to keep going. And also there's stuff we got rolling across the bottom. Trump is cutting aid to Colombia over drugs. Good. Some president should have done that years ago. I completely agree with that. It's just common sense. Like I've said, common sense is like a superpower. It's so rare. Israel launches a new wave of strikes on Gaza after Hamas attacks. And I told you last week this was not going to stop. Hamas was not going to stop. They shouldn't have given the ceasefire. They should roll into that country with bulldozers and steamrollers and flatten the entire country. Get rid of all those desert rats because they're not going to stop killing people. They're terrorists, and terrorists kill. It just gets aggravating. And I got to look at this stuff all day, every week, so I can put up a great show for you people. And I got to read this and hear about it and watch it every day. It's depressing. I mean, I don't mind doing it because I can vent it out and get rid of it, but still, it just never stops. The insanity never stops. We have the chat going, so if there's something you want to say or ask me, you can put it in the chat. And once again, if I don't respond, please don't take it personally. I'm not ignoring you. I might be in the middle of a rant, or I might be trying to stave off a stroke and won't be able to see it. So please feel free to say anything you want to say. Ask me any questions. If you want to comment on my awesome mug, please do so. It is a cool mug. I like it. It's official Conservative Corner swag. I got a shirt too. See? I don't know. I can't say. This camera moves. So when I move, it moves. But it says, let me see if I can get it up. Look, I'm undressing on camera. It's not pornographic. Don't worry. Oh, there we go. America's Pulse Network, TCC, the Conservative Corner. And I got a big conservative, like the thing on the back here, my background, it's on the back of the shirt. It says Stand Fast, Conservative Corner Podcast. It's pretty cool. It's all official stuff now. Don't be jealous. If you want it, ask. We'll send you one. It'll cost money, but you can have one too. So we're talking about idiots. And there's lots of idiots. Like they're reproducing at an alarming rate. And this weekend, they all got together and had their No Kings. My God. I mean, I thought July 4th had already come and gone. Independence Day. Guess not. Silly me. I guess we're also going to have it in October now. Independence Day every month or every day of the month for the next 7 years. But yeah, they had their second No Kings rallies throughout the country. Apparently millions of people showed up to decry a king that we don't have and fight tyranny in our government that we don't have. And showed their support for Palestine, go figure. Illegal aliens, go figure. Anti-police, anti-ICE. It's pretty much communist stuff that they're out there promoting that they're saying they're fighting. You know, if it wasn't for double standards, the left would have none. So here's a bird's eye view of a bunch of idiots. Yeah. Yep, that's a bunch of idiots protesting stuff that's not going on in this country because they feel good, makes them feel better about themselves. I think that was in Boston, if I believe. And I also read somewhere that one of the photos they're floating around about the No Kings thing was an actual Trump rally from 2017. So, do I believe that the left would lie about it? Yeah, I do. Do I believe that the right would, say something to try to discredit the left? Yeah, I do. Do I think everybody should just be quiet and let these morons speak for themselves? Yeah, that's all you got to do. Let these people talk for 5 minutes, and as they're brushing the purple hair out their nose ring and lip ring, and they're talking about aliens and how Trump is running concentration camps and executing people, you'd be like, yeah, you are really, really a waste of flesh. Just a sad, sad person. Speaking of sad people, I talked about this a minute ago. Parents who push their kids into political stuff just because it looks cool.
I'm out here because I want to protest against Mr. President because he's really mean. And I don't know all the stuff, but I know he's being really mean.
We are out here protesting the current fascist government and authoritarian. ICE taking people off our streets. I am a public health nurse, and we have been defunded. I have a husband who is currently on furlough, and we don't believe with how the government is handling themselves. This is not how democracy works.
How many people out there, honestly? Well, the camera's going crazy. That's not good. There we go. How many people actually think that girl woke up? She's probably, 6, 7? That she actually woke up and said, hey, Mom, I want to go to a protest. And I want to go on camera and tell everybody why I'm protesting Mr. President Trump because he's mean. Now, I'm not picking on the kid. Don't get me wrong. Kid's cool. Kids just do what their parents tell them. But I'm willing to bet that idiot parrot, the moron behind her, the granola eating, tree hugging, tofu, bean sprout eating parent of the year, told her daughter to say that and brought her daughter there with the really trying to get her to do that. My camera's going crazy. Really, and talked her into doing that. I can bet you money. That wasn't organic. That was not something the daughter wanted to do. It's just another liberal piss poor parent indoctrinating her, training her child to be just as ignorant and stupid as she is. I don't understand why anybody would do that to a kid. Like I said before, if the parents with the kids in Harford County force their kids to wear that shirt to school to try to cause problems, I think they're idiots too. We don't know that, but I'm almost 100% sure that this lady drug her kid down to this protest, hoping to get, interview with her child and have her child say that. No kid that age cares about what's going on. Really, I've never met it. And I'm saying she's 6 or 7. I've never met a 7-year-old that's concerned about politics. I've never met a 7-year-old who even cares who the president is. They've all the liberals are just sick people who have a mental illness. And it's on display every time they leave their house. Look, she drug her kid out to a protest. All it takes is one person in that protest to go do something stupid, and a protest turns to a riot. And there she is in the middle of a riot with her kid. That's how smart she is. Fucking idiot. Here's some more. Because they're against President Trump and never do anything else. I like that shirt. Socialism is the future. That's awesome. From Palestine to Mexico, the wall's got to go. Yeah, because all this is just, it's all about Trump. It's not about anything else. You just saw what it's about. It's communists trying to push communism in this country. It's foreign people from foreign countries trying to exploit liberals, who are easy people to exploit because they're stupid, into pushing their agenda. Palestine and illegal aliens. That's all this is about. It's got nothing to do with Trump. These idiots are just looking for useful fools to push their agenda, and they found them. They found a lot of useful fools. A lot of them. Look at them. You probably could ask, like, if you talk to 25 people in that crowd, they couldn't tell you what the hell they were protesting. They couldn't explain what No King's Day is. They couldn't even tell you what a king was. But the communists and the Hamas sympathizers and the illegal alien supporters are all out there because they know they can get their point shouted out by millions of people because these idiots don't know any better. They just don't know any better. So, as I like to do in the conservative corner from time to time, I like to educate people because I am a giver. And I want to give out some knowledge here today. So the first thing I like to do is explain to these idiots what a king is. A king is never voted into power, as it says. They 99.9% of the time, they inherit their power from birth. You're born into a bloodline, a royal bloodline. The king is king by birthright right there. It's not conferred by men. There's no vote. All we can do is acknowledge that he's king. He can't be voted out of power like a president can. Can't be voted in either. He was king before this world began, and he will still be king after he's passed away. He will always be the king. His power is absolute. His authority, what he says is it. There's no Supreme Court. There's no Congress. There's no Senate. There's no state court. There's no local courts. What he says is it, from God's mouth to his ear. He owns everything. If it's in his kingdom, it's his. From grass to people. He owns everything. There's no personal property rights. There's no due process rights. There's no constitution. It's his. What he says is it. It doesn't change. It will always be that way. And the king chooses who will be citizens. Doesn't matter if you're born in his kingdom or what. He decides who will be a citizen and who won't. So in essence, you don't vote for the king. He votes for you. Does any of that sound anything like anybody we have in office? I don't think it does. I don't think you think it does. That's because you have an IQ above a flip-flop. Most liberals have the IQ of an ant and just don't know any better. So that's part of what I want to give today. That's part of the education I'm giving today. Free history class. So that's what a king is. King's power is absolute. He's not voted in. He's king by birthright. He owns everything in his kingdom. He decides who will be and who won't be citizens. Whether you're born there or not, he'll make that decision. It's all up to him. And this is how a king rules. They're chosen. The right of sovereign's rules set forth by the theory that the government that he runs is that he receives a right to rule directly from God, not from the people. It's called divine right. He rules by divine right. He is the personification of God on earth. That's why you don't argue with the king. God said it. He spoke it. That's how a king is. There's no election. There's no voting on what he says, and you do. It's that simple. There's no Supreme Court. There's no Constitution. There's nothing holding him back. If he wants to execute 7,500 people, guess what? 7,500 people are going to die. Nobody can stand up to what he says. He is the king. The king. Ruling by divine right. God reached down and touched him and appointed him ruler of the kingdom. Okay, so that's a king. And that's in a nutshell. I'm sure if there are historians out there or people who took medieval history or things like that, they could go much, much, much deeper into what a king is, how they rule, how they're chosen, and things like that. That is just on the surface, in a nutshell, that's a king. That's how a king comes to power. That's how a king rules. That's a king. So let's go to this. What's a president? The president of the United States is head of state and head of the government of the United States. The president directs the executive branch of the federal government and is the commander-in-chief of the United States Armed Forces. This is how a president is elected. The Electoral College. On election day, See, there's nothing about God appointing him or him being president because of bloodline or birthright. Voters go to a polling place and cast their votes for their preferred candidate. He's chosen by the people. The voters elect their president and vice president indirectly. Both are chosen by electors through the electoral college process. States are allocated electors based on the number of seats they have in the House of Representatives and Senate. Washington, D.C. gets 3 electors, but other U.S. territories don't get any. There are a total of 538 electors, 435 House of Representatives, 100 blah, blah, blah. After all ballots have been cast, all votes go to the statewide tally. So there you go. There's vote. It says it right in the very beginning. On election day, voters go to the polling place to cast their vote for their preferred candidate. And what does it say about the king? Theory of government that holds that a monarch receives the right to rule directly from God and not from the people. And we'll go back to this one more time. His kingship is not conferred by men. We do not make him king. All we can do is acknowledge that he is king. His power is inherent from birth. So we have a bunch of morons out in the country. We're out yesterday having a no king's day. And I've just kind of shown you what a king and the difference between a king and a president is. So I don't know what they're fighting about. I don't know what they're protesting against. We don't have a king. Trump was elected by people of this country. They voted and they elected him. He's in office. And at the end of his 4 years, he'll go. A king is put into office by God and stays till his death. When he dies, the next in his bloodline takes over and continues. There's no election. You have no say in that. He does what he wants to do without any concern for other people. He does what he wants. President Trump has to get everything he wants to do pretty much voted on. And it goes to the Supreme Court and people can fight it. States can fight it. So in no way, shape, or form is he a king because he just can't wave his hand and things happen. He has been fought every step of the way. So I don't know where they're getting, that he's a king. I really, really don't. But they're liberals. They can't get their heads out of their ass long enough to catch their breath. So they probably have brain damage, and that's why they're thinking this. So those are the differences. I don't know. I know when I was, where did I go yesterday? I was driving somewhere, and I saw 10, 15 people maybe, had their little handmade signs up, no kings, no to fascists, no to ICE, blah, 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 blah. And they looked sad, like really sad. Not that I care because I think they're mental midgets to begin with. But I wanted to stop and go, hey, what has Trump done that would make you consider him a king? But I didn't because, number one, I had my son with me. And number two, you're not going to be able to have a civil conversation with those people because they're not civil human beings. They are driven in toto by their emotions and feelings. So as soon as you ask them a question, if they don't like it, they're going to explode. And I'm not going to put my son in that position to where something may happen and I may have to do something. And I don't want him to see his father, have him see his father do something. Unlike this moron who had no problem. Who has no problem bringing her daughter into a potential physical issue that something could happen and things get out of hand. But she's not a parent. She's a social activist. I can tell you that right now. She doesn't care about her kid. She doesn't give two shits about that kid. That kid is a prop right now. And she's getting everything she can from it. If anybody knows that lady, slap the shit out of her for me and take the kid away from her because that kid's going to grow up stunted, mentally stunted because of the idiot mother. Never bring your kids to a political rally or a protest. That's just stupid. I feel sorry for the kid because her mom took her away from playing with her friends and doing kid shit to go do stupid adult stuff with other stupid adults protesting a king that we've never had, doing things that he can't do and hasn't done. I don't, it makes my head hurt. Just the stupidity of these people is like painful to me. It's not fair to kids. It's not fair to everybody else around them. It's just, Did anybody else see any of the No Kings protests yesterday anywhere? Like I said, I saw a couple of people, and I can't remember where I was. Like I said, it wasn't many. It was like 10 or 15 people at max. I would lean more towards 10. But if you saw anything or heard anything, put it in the chat. Let me know, because I haven't heard from anybody that said they saw anything. I mean, I've seen it on the news, but nobody I've talked to said, "Oh yeah, I saw a bunch of idiots protesting the king that we don't have." It is what it is. We'll be right back.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up, because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. The America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. APN's The Pulse, hosted by Alexandra, Damon, and Seth. So tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X/Twitter, Rumble, Truth Social, Facebook, and YouTube. Join the revolution. Because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
If you haven't already, go to X, follow our X page, go to Rumble, follow us on Rumble, share it, like it, all that kind of stuff. The more people that like us and follow us, the more our voices are heard, and the more we're heard, the more we can change, we can affect. And, it's important to get our word out. So we can only do as much as you let us do. So if you like it, then you don't have to subscribe. We don't subscribe. Just follow us and share it. Participate. Get involved. We like that too. And again, there's Damon, Galdo, the Hammer. Damon the Hammer has a couple shows during the week on here. Alexandra Levine is also our White House correspondent. She has two shows on here. And then we all get together on Wednesday and do the Pulse, which is me, Alexander, Damon, Elena Barbera, the bass mother. She's really good. She's a great lady. And then usually we have a fifth person that's a guest. Like, we don't know I don't know who it'll be until the day we do I won't know until Wednesday, so I don't know who it'll be. Usually it was Tim Eisenberg, but he's really busy running his campaign, which is understandable. Man's busy. But he might be back in a couple weeks, which would be cool. He's a good guy. So yeah, that's that. And like I said, like us, follow us, and share us. That's all you got to do. We don't charge you for any of that. You don't have to subscribe to anything. We're not like that. So what we're doing now is we are going into our next one. I know you all heard about the ceasefire that was signed last week between Israel and Hamas, or Israel and Gaza, or if you believe in make-believe, if you're into make-believe, Israel and Palestine. I told you then that it was a mistake. Nothing was going to change. All they were going to do is use this as a time to regroup, rearm, and replan. I said that. You can check it. Go back and look. I'm against the whole ceasefire thing. I believe Israel should have finished the job. They had them on the ropes, and they should have just finished it. Should have just taken out Hamas completely and utterly. But they didn't. And I'm not going to second guess them. So what happened? Hamas is attacking Israel, IDF people again. This was, I believe, Friday. They attacked them. Friday, Hamas attacked them. It's just terrorists being terrorists. I don't know why anybody thought anything different would happen. These people are animals, uneducated animals. And they've made it very clear that they want to wipe Israel off the map and they want to kill the Jews. Why did anybody think it would be different just because they said, oh, yeah, we want to stop fighting. They want to stop fighting because they're getting their asses kicked. They got nowhere to go. They got no food. They got no ammo. They got nothing. They're running low on everything. So, of course, yeah, we'll take a ceasefire. Yeah, sure. We'll agree to anything you say. Just get the aid back here so I can feed my troops. Not the people. Let me feed my troops. Give us a couple months. We'll regroup, re-strength, and then we'll come back at you. They didn't even wait a month. It was a week. And they're already attacking his IDF. And people are still saying, well, you need to stick to the ceasefire. No, they don't. No, they don't. I hope Israel says, you know what, screw the ceasefire. We are now just going to invade the Gaza Strip and make it Israel. And then I hope they do it. This is never going to end unless you kill all of Hamas. It's never going to end. These aren't good people. These aren't resistance fighters. These aren't rebels. They are terrorist thugs that kill their own people. They rape and murder women. They kill children on purpose. They go out of their way to do this. So why they're attacking IDF and people are shocked, I don't know. Why are you shocked? And if that shocks you, I got some news for you. Water's wet. Yeah, it's crazy. But people are shocked. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. I thought there was a ceasefire. Guess what? They're terrorists. Terrorists do terrorist things. That's why they're called terrorists. And it's not going to get any better. They're not just going to stop. They're going to keep killing innocent people until we kill them. And that's what we need to do. We need to stop making this all Israel's problem. We need to get involved and help them. Every country in the world needs to get involved to help them stomp out Hamas. It's that simple. It's not just an Israeli problem, it's a world problem. Any terrorist organization is a world problem. It's that simple. Why everybody thinks it's just Israel and then they need to back off because there's a ceasefire, but Hamas can keep doing what they want to do. No one's going to say anything about it. It's ridiculous. Obviously, only people trying to adhere to the ceasefire are Israel. The only people having their feet held to the fire about the ceasefire is Israel. Hamas is killing people in the streets now, their own people. They are killing people who they think helped or sided with Israel during the war. They are executing people in the street. I don't hear anybody crying about that. I don't see any protests about that. Do you? If you do, let me know, because I haven't seen them. There's videos, I'm not going to show them because they're horrible, but there's videos all over the internet of Hamas putting people on their knees in the middle of the street and then shooting them in the back of their head. Not Israel, not the IDF, Hamas killing their own people that they think collaborated with Israel. They just think. They don't know. They think. And nobody's saying anything about it. There's no flotilla going down there now to help these people. There's no one screaming and crying in other countries about Hamas killing their own people. No one's saying a thing about it. They're all ticked off at Israel because Israel bombs some places today. Good. Bomb them back to the Stone Age. Won't take many bombs to do that, but bomb them back. Some people only understand pain and violence. And people like that you can't reason with, you can't negotiate with, and there's no compromise. Because that's all they understand is an ass whooping. And that's what you need to give Hamas, an ass whooping. And you don't stop when you've almost done it 100%. You have to finish the job. Or you're going to get more of this. What don't people understand? It's a terrorist group. Terrorist. Not a birthday group. Not a Easter group. Not a singing group. Not a fun group. It's a terrorist group. Terrorists terrorize. Part of terrorizing is destroying things and killing people. So when they destroy things and kill people, they're just doing what terrorists do. That should not shock anybody. It's like destroy the scorpion and the frog. Why'd you sting me? Now we're both going to drown. I'm a scorpion. I do scorpion things. They're terrorists. They do terrorist things. They need to be stopped. I'm telling you, this is just the beginning. It's going to get worse. And as long as Israel stands back and lets the rest of the world dictate to them how they can protect their people, it's going to get worse. And I'm not pro-Israel. I'm pro-defense of your country. I'm American first, but I also don't want to see our allies get beat up because we don't want them to do something. They need to defend their people. We need to help them kill a terrorist organization. The world needs to help. And after we get done with Hamas, let's go after the Muslim Brotherhood. Let's finish them off. Let's just clean house while we're doing this. Because it won't be gone long. We could kill all the terrorists today. And I guarantee within 6 months there'd be more groups because these people are just uneducated. And they blame everybody in the world for their shortcomings and their failings rather than assume responsibility for themselves. It's always somebody else's fault. Just like the morons in his country. It's not my fault I failed. It's the government's fault, or it's his fault, or it's the white man's fault, or whatever. There's always someone else to blame. And while same thing with terrorists. Until these people can understand that, hey, your life is your life. You're responsible for your life, not me. Until that happens, things won't get better. It's like when you have a child who breaks something and you go, who broke this? Well, not me. You're the only kid in the room. It's got to be you. Do you just go, oh, it's okay, and let him keep breaking stuff? No, you sit him down, you go, look, don't do that. You don't lie to me. You broke it, assume responsibility, and then you punish them. You don't do what we're doing with Hamas and, okay, you do this, but don't do it again. Don't do that again. You don't, because people die. We're not talking about a vase getting broke or someone eating a cookie. We're talking about people dying. We're talking about a terrorist organization who's made it very clear, and I think it's in their charter, they want to destroy Israel and kill all the Jews. And if they succeed with that, let's say they kill all the Jews, you think they're going to be happy and stop? No, they're not going to be. Let's go after the Christians. Let's go after the Buddhists. Let's go after the sheiks. It's never going to end. They're always going to find someone to be upset with about something. And as long as until we can understand and accept that fact, that no matter what they do, they're going to be angry, nothing will change. We just need to go, you know what? We can't talk to these people. We tried. We can't compromise. We can't negotiate. We need to kill them. They need to die. Until we can accept that and act on that, this will always happen. There will always be terrorists. There will always be killing innocent people. And it's sad. But like I said, nobody's complaining about, the Hamas killing people in the streets anymore or now. No one's saying anything about that. There's no marches. There's no flotillas. There's no new coverage. Nobody's saying anything about that. And why is it so quiet now? Where are all the college kids that were upset about Israel blowing things up? Why aren't they complaining about, summary executions in the street in Gaza? Because it was never about Gaza. It was never about Palestine. It was about hating Israel. It was about hating Jews. That is it. The Jews could have been rounding up sewer rats and killing them because they were spreading the plague. There would have been protests against Israel for killing sewer rats. There'd have been, pro sewer rat protests. There'd have been, pro sewer rat speeches. Countries would have been, we're not going to do business with Israel because they're killing sewer rats. It's a genocide. It was never about Palestine. Never. And if you think that, you're crazy. And where's the proof? Right here, right now. Right now, Hamas is killing people in the street, innocent people in the street, and there's not a peep from this idiot Thurnberg or whatever her damn name is. None of these politicians, none of these actors, nobody. Nobody's saying a word about that. No one's saying about the word about the Muslims killing all the Christians in Africa. No one's saying anything about that. So I don't know what more proof you need that this was completely and totally about hating on Israel and hating Jews. That's it. That's all there was to it. I can't dumb it down any more than that. No one's complaining. The same people complaining about Israel are not complaining about the Muslims killing Christians in Africa. The same idiots that were complaining about Israel attacking Gaza are not complaining about Hamas killing people in Gaza that they thought helped Israel. No one's saying anything about that. I can't make it any more clear than that. This had nothing to do with Gaza. Ever. Never. This was just the anti-Semites' time to come out of their basement, stand upright for the first time in a few decades and spew their bullshit because they knew people would listen to it and support it, and they still are doing it. People who were pro-Palestine and calling for the death of Israel and everything are still protesting and now. Even after the ceasefire was initiated, they still kept protesting and said, we're not going to stop because it's not about Palestine, that make-believe country. It's not about Gaza. It's not about the people that live in Gaza. Nothing to do with that. This is about hate and getting as many people to hate with them as they can. And I can't, the proof's right there. It's right in front of you. It's right there. I don't care what the other talking heads say on podcasts or in the news, or what actor of the week is going to boycott, or what they're telling you. Here's your proof right here. Nobody is saying a word about Hamas killing civilians except Trump. Trump made it very clear if it doesn't stop, he's going to stop it. Nobody else is saying anything about it. And there are still people out there that say Israel's committing genocide. No, they're not. No. If you don't know, if you think they're committing genocide, you've never opened a history book in your life. Hell, you've never even watched a movie in your life. If you think Israel's trying to commit genocide, you are dumb beyond words if that's what you honestly think. And I don't think most of the people honestly think that. I think most of the people are just regurgitating what they've heard people on CNN say, or podcasters they like say, or actors say. I think they're just regurgitating what they've heard, and that's it. They're like parrots. They hear something and repeat it. Oh, Israel's killing people, genocide. Oh, Israel's killing people, genocide. Israel's committing, they're starving people to death. They're creating a famine. Oh, Israel's creating a famine. They're starving people to death. Could never explain to you what that means, but they heard it from someone, and it sounded good, and they like them. And we all know that liberals are driven by emotions and feelings, so they just repeated something they heard from somebody they liked. Doesn't need to be true. Facts just get in the way, and that's what you got. And that's why you don't hear them complaining about Hamas killing people, because nobody else is complaining about it. So these moron libs, like the lady who drug her kid to a protest, aren't talking about it because they haven't been told to talk about it yet. It's really that simple. It's not some great grand conspiracy. It's not some deep state crap. It's just morons. It's run-of-the-mill anti-Semite morons. That's all it is. And that's what makes it so sad. There are people dying now that we should be all screaming and yelling about. We should all be protesting it, but they're not doing it anymore because it's not Israel doing it. So it's okay if you get killed, as long as you're not killed by an Israeli. If you're killed by an Israeli, then we got a problem. But if it's just some terrorist thug that shoots you down in the street, sorry about your bad luck. And that's all it is. Just run-of-the-mill, old as the hills anti-Semitism from uneducated, knuckle-dragging mouth breathers who now know they could get away with it because people will listen to them and they will feel sorry for them. And innocent people are going to keep dying because it's not the Jews killing them, so it's okay. It's okay if you died and it's not by a Jew. It's not a big deal. And that's the truth, and that's what makes it so sad. I mean, I don't see anybody in Gaza get executed in the street. I don't see anybody like that executed like that anywhere. It's horrible. That's why I'm saying something about it now. And I can't be the only one that says anything about it. Everybody's got to say something. These morons like Greta Thunberg have got to say stuff about it. The idiots in Hollywood who are protesting anybody who works with Israel, they need to start screaming about the Hamas killing people in the streets. They've got to. And if they don't, that's all I got to say to them. That's all I got to say to them. And if I could see them, I would probably spit in their face. Low-class human beings. And like I said earlier, just let people talk, and they're going to tell you who they are. We know who these people are now. This is not about helping. This is not about anything other than, like I've said, anti-Semitism. They don't care about anything else. Don't. I mean, remember, Greta Thunberg's a lying sack of shit anyway. I showed you the picture of her last week walking through the airport like she was handcuffed when she wasn't handcuffed. She was doing that for the cameras. Everybody felt sorry for her. This shit will never end. It just gets worse and worse all the time because people buy into this crap. Israel's bad. Hamas is just a resistance organization. Gaza is, Israel's trying to commit genocide. None of it is true. None of it. And like I just said, the proof is right here. Here's your proof that none of that is true. Well, the Gaza health minister said 60,000 people were killed. And what does that mean? That's like getting your information from Joseph Goebbels during World War II, the minister of propaganda. That's all the Gaza health ministry is propaganda. None of it's true. No one listens to them except other terrorists and other idiots. 60,000 people have been killed, all civilians. They tell you, all civilians. That's why I don't believe anything they have to say. It's only going to get worse, people. It's not going to get any better until we tell people like Greta Thunberg and people in Hollywood, just shut up. Just shut up. My 7-year-old dog knows more about what's going on in Israel than you do. So just shut up. You're an embarrassment and you're embarrassing yourself. Stop. I'm trying to do you a favor. Morons. All right, we will be right back.
Welcome to America's Pulse Network. This is APN's very own White House correspondent, Alexandra Levine.
This is so amazing and miraculous. We've never had a president in the history of our nation doing this. And we hope to God that he continues doing this forever and ever. Thank you. God bless you, everybody. And God bless President Trump.
And God bless you.
Hello, everyone. This is Alexandra Levine with the America's Pulse Network. I am the White House correspondent right here in the heart of D.C. as President Trump is celebrating 250 years of America and the military.
Subscribe and follow America's Pulse Network on the above social medias.
Again, that was Alexandra Levine. She's our White House correspondent. Cool chick. She's a fellow tribesman, so she's a very smart person. I know it's a cool mug. I like it. It's very cool. And there's Damon Galdo, who does his shows. It's another smart guy, the Hammer. And I'll be with him November 4th in New Jersey on election night at an election party. I'll be there in person. So if you live in New Jersey, I don't know if we have the information posted here, but it's on the X site, and Damon talks about it on his show. Come out there, hang out with us, and get to see me in person. I know it would be the highlight of. There it is. Oh, there it goes. I don't know where it went. It disappeared. There it is. We'll be at Peter's Pub on November 4th. I think I'm coming from here. I'll probably be there. Damon will be there at 5. Those things will be there at 5. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. There'll be music.
Generation fighters take the stand from shore to shore. Reclaim the land. Grit and glory. Every strand. In Jersey Shore, we make our stand.
It'll be a good time. There'll be Skeeter in New Jersey, in Blackwood, New Jersey, November 4th. So if you can make it there, hang out with us, and then we'll have a good time. It'll be fun. I'm telling you, it'll be a good time. But yeah, so, like I was just talking about, don't ever let anybody tell you that, we were protesting the treatment of the people of Gaza. No, you weren't. No, you weren't, because why aren't you protesting now? It's that simple. It's just, like I said, it just gets dumber and dumber every day. I don't get it. I've tried to figure it out, and I'm just going to stop trying to figure it out. I'm just going to talk about it, make fun of them, and point them out to you so you all can see who they are and what they really mean. And once again, I've talked about it, and I'll talk about it again. Nobody on this network is here to change your mind or make you go, oh, you are right. We agree with you 100%. That's not what we're doing. And I don't ever want you to think that's what we're doing. What we're doing is offering our opinion and hopefully making you think a little bit. Like, I never thought of it that way. Giving you another point of view, another way to look at things. And then you think about it, and if you go, hey, that makes sense, great. And if it doesn't, great. But as long as you just listen to it with an open mind and then come to your own conclusion, that's all we really want you to do. We're not here to change your minds. Not at all. And I hope you don't get the impression that's what I'm trying to do. Because it's not. I'm here because I don't want to have a stroke. So I got to let it out somehow. And I found sitting in the middle of my yard yelling at trees is not a good thing to do. People will probably call the cops on me. So I come here and do this with you, and I hope it's entertaining, and I hope, that you walk away thinking. That's all I want you to do is think. And I'm not saying you don't think unless I say something. I'm sure you're all very intelligent people. I mean, you watch this show, for God's sakes. You're smarter than like 60% of the rest of the world. So I know you're smart, and I know you know what I mean. So that's that. So yeah, Skeeters, November 4th, starts at 5. I should be there around 6:30 or 7. Come by and say, hey, have a beer, meet the candidates, find out what the election results are for New Jersey while you're there. I don't know what kind of food they have. I'm assuming they got hamburgers and stuff, so grab a burger and a beer. Come sit down with me, and we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. We can talk about anything from aliens to no kings. Anything in between we can talk about. I know a little about a lot. I'm like a jack of all trades, master of none. So we can talk about anything you want to talk about. It's really that simple. And I hope I can see some of y'all there. It'd be really neat to meet some of you in person. So yep, November 4th, Skeeters starting at 5 in Blackwood, New Jersey. Blackwood. Yes, Blackwood. So in other news, I know there's hard to believe there's other stuff going on, but there is. This is my favorite one right now, let me tell you. Let me find the notes I have on this, and then we will go, and I'll talk about it. I have so many notes. It's all scattered around. It's getting bad. I know. I'm sorry. I'm unprepared. I apologize. Send me not a dirty email, unless you want to. Send me a nasty email telling me how unprepared I am and unprofessional it is, and I will probably laugh at you and delete it. But I will have deserved it. Where is it? I am looking. I know. Oh, come on. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Okay, I don't need it. What is going on in Los Angeles is they've declared an immigrant emergency. And what that means is they will introduce rules to mobilize resources, expedite contracting and procurement, coordinate interagency responses, request state and federal assistance to protect and stabilize communities that have been impacted by federal immigration rates. In other words, they're going to use taxpayers' dollars to subsidize illegal immigrants who are too afraid to leave their house to go to work because ICE is scooping them up and sending them home. They are going to be literally paying rent, food, medical, anything that they can't pay because they can't leave their house. The taxpayers are going to be subsidizing their lives. Not only are you going to be responsible for your families in Los Angeles County, you are now going to be responsible for illegal immigrants' families as well. You're going to be paying for everything they need because it's more important in California, more to the point in Los Angeles, to ignore the Constitution and defy the word of law. It's more important to do that than it is to support the taxpayers of Los Angeles County. So good going, Gavin Newsom, and what's that idiot mayor? I don't even want to say her name. I can't remember. Brown, is that her name? Some stupid, I don't even know. Bass, isn't it Bass? I think it was her name, Bass. Something like that. But that's what they're going to be doing in LA County. Are you angry yet? Are you getting pissed off at this now? You got people marching, no kings. Government's a fascist. We need communism and socialism. Now we're going to be funding illegal immigrants with taxpayer dollars. Los Angeles, didn't it catch fire a little while ago? Didn't a couple houses burn down or something? Shouldn't that be where the taxpayers' monies are going to rebuilding the city? No. Are you crazy? That's stupid talk. We're going to use taxpayer money to fund illegal aliens, to make sure they can eat, have a roof over their head, and get medical coverage. And all those things that everybody else in LA has to pay for, we're going to pay for it for them because it's just mean for us to enforce the law. So that's what we're going to do. I don't know what else it's going to take for people to wake up and say enough's enough. I don't even live in California, and that pisses me off. That just makes me angry. I am barely making it. I know people who aren't making it, who work 40, 50 hours a week, that are struggling to pay their bills, are struggling to put food on the table. I know people that are like one medical issue away from losing everything. And they live here. They work here. They're born here. They are citizens, and they're struggling. And LA County has the balls, the audacity to say they're going to fund and make sure the illegal aliens are taken care of through taxpayer money. Really? And everybody's okay with that? Why aren't they in the streets marching about that, saying, no, you're not taking my money to pay for this? To get here, I had to step over 4 homeless vets. Why don't we give them? I'd rather my taxpayer dollars go to them than to some illegal alien from wherever. Why are we paying for them? My fellow countrymen are living in the street, laying in their own urine, eating out of dumpsters. Why aren't we paying for them? People who fought for this country, laid it all on the line, lost everything they have. Why are we not supporting them financially? Why are we giving money to illegal aliens? Why? Where is the reasoning? How is that rational? Why is that even being allowed? Why is it even being talked about? Why is nobody losing their shit over that? I mean, I am. I don't even live there. It's an embarrassment. That's an embarrassment to this country. They're going to spit on police officers and ICE people. They're going to mob them and riot and attack them. They're going to ignore homeless vets in the street, or the homeless people, period, eating out of dumpsters and living on the sidewalk. So we can support people who shouldn't be here in the first place. Number one, people who've been here long enough to have started the process to become a citizen and haven't. Number two. Number three, people who are just out in the streets waving the flag of the country they're leaving because it sucks so bad, but are now fighting for it in our country because we're telling them they have to go back. None of it makes sense. And what makes less sense is nobody's saying anything. Nobody's upset. No one's talking about it. No one's demanding answers. If you live in LA County, get out there and let them know you're not agreeing to this. Tell them your tax money should not be going to people who don't belong here. And that doesn't make you a bad person. It's not wrong to say that. It's the law. The law says they shouldn't be here, and that's the end of it. That's why the Constitution was written down, so people's feelings couldn't change things. Well, it's kind of mean. Maybe we should, let them do this. No, it's written down. It's what we got to do. You want to fight it, go to court, have it interpreted, but as it reads, we're going to do that. Right to bear arms should not be infringed. Well, then go to court and fight it, but it's written down. That's what it means. That's why it's written down. I'm just going to stroke out one of these days. I can see it coming. But yeah, if you live in LA, your taxes are probably astronomically high now. They're probably going to get higher. And there you go. That's why. They're going to be funding illegal immigrants' lives because they're in hiding and they can't go to work because those mean old police officers are going to enforce the law. And God forbid that happen. If I enforce laws at all in California, let everybody do what they want to do. If it makes you feel good, do it if you live in California. Screw the law. Do what you want to do. Don't worry about the police. It's like the wild, wild west over there. It's like every minute it gets worse. Every time you hear something about California, it's like it was worse than what you just heard. Only in California. Beautiful place. Great country. Great state. Beautiful views. Great water. But I don't know why anybody would want to live there. Got earthquakes, mudslides, fires, riots. Now you got illegal immigration. You got crime. I was there 4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago to visit my daughter for Thanksgiving. Went to LA and it was a dump. It was like, wow, this is LA. Went to the Walk of Fame where the stars are. It's dirty. It's not what you'd think it was. It'd be like, wow, it's not at all what I thought. We drove down Rodeo Drive. Drove because I couldn't afford to use the bathroom in any of those places. Everything was boarded up because of theft. No windows. You couldn't look in the windows. Everything was boarded up. Doors were locked and covered. But that's okay in California. As long as the illegal immigrants and the criminals feel welcome, it's okay. Because really when it gets down to it, taxpayers don't matter in LA. You were there to fund their lives. That's it. What you want or what you need to do in California, if you're a taxpayer and you're a law-abiding citizen, does not matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't amount to a hill of beans. It's what the criminals want. That's what we're worried about. It's what the illegal immigrants want. That's what we're worried about. Not you. So y'all keep living in California. Keep moving to California. But understand this. If you leave California and you move to another state, don't try to make that state like California. Just be thankful you're out of California and shut up. Because that happens. I know where I live, people from Montgomery County, which is just like California, but it's a county in Maryland. Literally, just like California. They leave and come up to the county I live in and want to make my county like Montgomery County. I can't stand those people. I can't stand them. Just, you know what? Be quiet. If you like Montgomery County so much, move back down there. But don't come up here where we're all happy, we're doing our own thing, and things are smooth, as they can be in Maryland, and try to make things worse like they were in Montgomery County. Just stop. Stop. You're an idiot. You're definitely the poster child for pro-choice. You'd be a perfect argument for that. Yeah, but there you go, California. Going to bleed you dry a little bit more because let's take care of the illegal aliens. It's important. Really important. If you're making any long-term plans, I wouldn't. We're all going to die. We're all going to drown. Sea levels are, like it says, are rising faster than in 4,000 years. It's just, you know what? We're going to drown. I can hear the water lapping on my deck right now. It's been great knowing you. See you later. How long has this been going on? Like 10, 20 years now? We're all supposed to be dead. All the ice caps are supposed to be melted, and all the coasts are supposed to be covered with 10 feet of water. Some crap. It's every year. It's just fear mongering. It's just ridiculous. Like I said, it's ridiculous. It gets more ridiculous every day. I mean, we got this, and we got the alien spacecraft that should be here by Thanksgiving, and we're all going to die. I think it's a race now between drowning and climate change and an alien. Who's going to kill us first? I'm not sure. My money's on the aliens. I think they're going to be here first, and then they're going to just vaporize us. I don't think we're going to drown or we're all going to cook, because I think that's going to take too much time. It's going to be the aliens. I'm putting my money on the aliens. Yeah, but we're all going to drown. There's going to be no coastal cities. If you live in Maryland, or no, if you live in West Virginia, pretty soon you're going to have oceanfront property. Just a matter of time. It's all going to happen. This, it's supposed to happen 10 years ago, but they miscalculated. It's supposed to happen 9 years ago. Wait, things are changing a little bit. It's a little bit slower. Every year it's supposed to happen, and every year there's a reason why it didn't. And then they wonder why nobody believes them. There you go. Sea levels are rising faster than in 4,000 years. Coastal megacities face a sinking future. It's ridiculous. Every time you look at something, it's the end. The end is nigh. You know what? Maybe it should be. I mean, society has sunk so far down into the toilet. Maybe we need to hit the reset button. Maybe. Got people shooting people in the streets. You got people telling you that abortion is good, that it's not murder. You got people in school thinking it's okay to teach kids about anal and oral sex in elementary school and middle school. You got people in places of authority taking taxpayers' money to pay criminals. People who are busting their ass, abiding by the law, work their ass off, or can barely support their families. Maybe we do need to hit the reset button. Maybe that wouldn't be such a bad thing. Or maybe we all start acting like adults and take care of our own. Work on this country. Stop trying to help the rest of the world. Stop sending money to other countries that wouldn't bat an eye if something happened here. It is not our responsibility to fund the rest of the world. Never has and never will be. And it shouldn't be. We got enough problems here. That's why illegal immigration is such a horrible thing. We have enough of our own homegrown problems. We don't want to import it. We don't want newer problems from other countries. We have enough here. We don't need it anymore. Stop. Go home. Come back the right way. But you can't do that because that makes you a racist or xenophobe or whatever. We got to start using our heads, people, or we're going to lose this country. It's going to change to something that none of us ever thought it would be. Hell, definitely would be changed to something that our forefathers never thought would happen. You think Washington and Jefferson and Hancock and Adams thought this? Oh, maybe if we're lucky, down the road, while we're taking money from people, taxing them, we can give it to people that don't belong here to make their lives easier. Let's do that, and then we'll kill unborn babies. Man, that sounds great. That's great. Well, hopefully that'll happen. No. Let's be honest. Let's be 100% honest. If those gentlemen were alive today, they'd be stacking bodies. They would have already started a revolution. Let's be honest. They would not be sitting back letting this crap go on. They would be fighting with Trump to stop America from turning to a third world shithole. They would be doing whatever they could to prevent that from happening. It's that simple. And if we're not careful and we don't do something soon, the only way we're going to be able to stop this from happening is through violence. And I don't want that. I don't want that for your kids. I don't want that for my kid. I don't want that for anybody's children. There has to be a way to stop this peacefully, assertively, but peacefully. And we got to do it soon. I'm telling you, we got to do it soon. I'm not being an alarmist. I'm not saying if we don't do it today, everything's gone tomorrow. But if we don't do something, if we don't turn around, we're going to end up where we're headed. We got some time. We could course correct this. But we got to do it soon. And like I said, I say it every weekend. I'll say it again. Can't throw all this at President Trump's feet and say, fix it and walk away. He's one person. And the government's for the people, by the people, and we are the people. We need to stand up and take some accountability and responsibility for this country. Stop waiting and praying for politicians to fix it and do what we got to do. Get involved. Talk to your neighbors. Go to your local county council meetings, your local board of education meetings. Be heard. Get involved in your church. Get involved in the community. Stop sitting on the sidelines. Really, everybody wants to be a conservative until it's time to do conservative shit. It's the truth. Everybody's a Republican until it's time to do something. Then they don't want to do it. They're busy. They got to work. Can't do it. Got this, got that. Stop making excuses and get involved. Get involved. And if what I'm saying upsets you or offends you, I don't care. I'm past caring about offending people or upsetting people. I don't care. I'm worried about my kids and what kind of country they're going to have after I'm gone. And that's what you should be worried about too. Do we want a country where the law is a joke? The Constitution is only enforced when it feels good. And no matter how hard you work, your money will be taken away from you to give it to people who don't work. Is that what we want? And don't get me wrong, I am not above a hand up. I believe everybody stumbles from time to time and everybody needs a hand. Everybody. What I don't agree with and I do not support is a handout. Big difference between a hand up. Hand up so you get hurt or you get sick or something happens out of your control and you're down. Help them out. Do what you got to do to help that person because you know they're going to get back on their feet and work out. A handout is, oh, you don't want to work because you just don't feel like, oh, here's some money. Stay at home, we'll take care of you. That's a handout. You expect nothing in return. Not that I expect anything in return from a hand up. I just expect you, after a while, to be able to help yourself. And then I expect you to help the next person. It's that simple. No more handouts. No more. People are raised on handouts, and that doesn't do good. That's not good for them. It's not good for the country. So you don't turn around and say, well, Seth doesn't want to help people. No, I want to help people. I have no problem helping people who legitimately need it. And you know who legitimately needs help. You know it. Just when you talk to them, when you hear about what's going on, then you know if they need help. Help them. And we all know the people that are just lazy as shit, just don't want to work. They want everything given to them. Don't give them a handout. There's no need to. It's not right. And it's not what this country is based on. Well, it's about that magic time. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me tonight. If you like what you heard or you don't like what you heard or you're indifferent about what you heard, please share it. Laugh at me or laugh with me. Follow my page on X. It says right down here at Conservative Seth. Follow me on Facebook. That's the Conservative Corner. Share this podcast with everybody you know. Share it with people you don't know. Just share it. Share everybody's podcast on this network. Alexandra's, Damon's. Share them all. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't be ashamed if you're conservative. Don't be ashamed to tell people you're conservative. There's nothing wrong with it. Be proud. And like I said, be involved. Get off your ass and be involved. Stop complaining. Go do something. I've told you what you can do. Go to local council meetings. Go to local Board of Education meetings. Get to know your neighbors. Be involved in your church. Get involved in your community. Be involved. Stop being an observer of life and be a participant. Because this ain't a dress rehearsal. We don't get a second go. This is it. Make the best of it as you can. Do what you can. So if you've watched this podcast before, you know I like to end with an opinion of mine. Sometimes the opinion I share has nothing to do with the podcast. Sometimes it's directly related to the podcast. This time it's directly to the podcast. And once again, this is my opinion. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to do anything. Let me find it. Here we go. So what I will just read it, and you can tell me if you like it. Excuse me. In the shattered streets of Gaza City, where the rubble of 2 years of war still chokes the air with dust and despair, a new horror has unfolded. And it's not the roar of Israeli airstrikes, but in the cold light of day. Masked gunmen in their green headbands, unmistakable symbols of Hamas's Qassam brigades, have dragged Palestinian men into the public square, forced them to their knees, and executed them with machine gun bursts. Videos circulating on social media capture the scenes in chilling clarity. Blindfolded captives, shirts pulled over their heads, collapsing in pools of blood as crowds chant Allahu Akbar and hurl stones at the dying. At least 33 Palestinians have been killed in this post-ceasefire crackdown since October, with over 20 more in a single family massacred by the group. These are not acts of war against an external enemy. They are purges designed to reassert a tyrant's grip on a territory teetering on the edge of anarchy. This is Hamas's triumphant return, emboldened by a fragile U.S. brokered ceasefire that began on October 10th. The group, devastated by Israel's campaign but far from defeated, has flooded Gaza's streets with its fighters, which started as clashes with rival clans like the Dugmash family, who allegedly killed Hamas militants during the war, has escalated into a wave of extrajudicial killings. Hamas labels the victims collaborators, gang members, or lawbreakers, but the accusations are as flimsy as the due process they receive. None. A video from October 13th shows 7 men gunned down in Gaza City while spectators cheered. The execution, filmed and shared by Hamas-affiliated Telegram channels as a boast. In another clip, analyzed by CNN, and we all know they're honest, 8 blindfolded captives are lined up and slaughtered in broad daylight, their pleas drowned out by the crack of automatic fire. This is not justice, it's theater, a macabre performance to remind Gazans who wields the power in the vacuum left by Israel's partial withdrawal. And yet, the world watches in silence, a silence so profound it echoes louder than the gunfire. Where are all the protests that clogged Western cities last year, the chants of free Palestine, that drowned out traffic in London and New York? Where is the outrage from the United Nations, that self-appointed guardian of human rights, which issued 13 condemnations of Israel in the first month of the war alone, but has mustered nothing now? The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, quick to decry Israel's indiscriminate bombings, has not uttered a word about these street executions. The Palestinian Authority, Mohammed Abbas, condemned the killings, but even that feeble echo barely pierced the international fog. U.S. President Donald Trump, architect of the ceasefire, has said that if Hamas doesn't stop, he will stop them, the only voice of reason and opposition. It underscores a grim reality. When the blood spilled is Palestine on Palestine, the global moral compass spins wildly off course. The selective muteness is no accident. It's the rotten fruit of a politicized narrative that has long weaponized Palestinians' suffering against Israel while airbrushing over the terrorists who perpetrate it. For 2 years, Hamas's October 7th atrocities, 1,200 Israel slaughtered, 251 taken hostage, were reframed by activists and some media as resistance. Gaza's death toll, number not legitimately known, but according to Hamas health organizations, is 68,000, became a crucial indictment of Israel for genocide. Yet when Hamas turns its guns inward, executing its own people without trial to crush dissent, the hashtags go quiet. No Greta Thunberg sailing for Gaza's dissidents. No Bella Haddad posting tear-streaked tributes. No viral threads from pro-Palestinian influencers decrying the occupation's latest proxy. On X, a smattering of posts from pro-Israeli accounts highlight the videos, but the border activist chorus, once deafening, has fallen mute. One user summed it up starkly. Hamas drags Palestinians into the street. 0 Western media outlets have reported it. Pro-Palestinians haven't said a word. The UN is completely silent. Why is that? The answer is hypocrisy, plain and corrosive. Hamas has ruled Gaza as a fiefdom for nearly 2 decades, diverting billions in aid to tunnels and rockets while its people starved. Now, with the IDF shadow lifted, the group's true colors bled through. A criminal syndicate more interested in survival than sovereignty. Analysts like Tamar Quamat, a Gaza-based academic, notes that Hamas is the sole authority. But at what cost? The executions target not just rivals, but anyone suspected of collaboration. A catch-all for critics, journalists like Salif al-Dafahali, killed in crossfire on October 12th, or families who dared question the war. And Deir al-Balash, Hamas fighters direct traffic one moment and dispense death the next. This is governance by fear, and it thrives because the international community, addicted to a binary of oppressor versus oppressed, refuses to confront the oppressor from within. The tragedy in Gaza is not simply a morality play. It's a hall of mirrors, where Hamas savagery reflects back the West's own moral cowardice. If we truly cared about Palestinians as more than pawns in an anti-Israel crusade, we would condemn those executions with the same fury reserved for the war. Demand the UN investigate, not ignore. Call out the influence and politicians who've laundered Hamas's crimes as context. And recognize that true peace requires dismantling the monsters who feast on Gaza's chaos, not averting our eyes when they turn on their own people. Until then, the streets run red and the silence screams complicity. Again, that is just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. You can tell me I'm wrong, tell me to kick sand, tell me whatever. Excuse me. I got something in my throat. Let me drink out of my cool mug. That's better. But yeah, so that's my show. Thanks for hanging out. Again, it's awesome that you all spend time to hang out with me on Sundays. I'll be here Wednesday at 8 o'clock for the Pulse. And then I'll be back on next Sunday at 7 for the Conservative Corner. Check out Damon and Alexander's shows this week and on the Pulse as well. That's it. Again, thanks for hanging out. It's always cool. If you like the mug, let me know. Let me show you that. If you want one, let me know. You can get one, maybe. I don't know. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in. But yeah, everybody have a good Sunday. Have a good rest of the weekend. Have a good week. And remember, follow me on X. Follow me on Facebook. Like and follow and share this podcast with everybody you know. And I'll be back next Sunday. So have a good, like I said, have a good weekend. Have a good week. And remember, if you live your life based on a principle and not on a party, you're going to lead a very good life, and you're going to leave behind a legacy that your family can be proud of. So everybody have a good evening, and I will talk to you later.
righteous pride in this one